Hi guys, it's Velian here from Velian Speaks Tech, and today I want to talk about OnePlus turning into Xiaomi, right? I'm not sure guys if that's good news or that's bad news, or maybe you like the way things are, but I see the signs, and I can tell you, Xiaomi did the same thing that HTC did some years ago, and at some point I was counting that HTC currently supported 37 models of smartphones. And we know about the demise of HTC, guys. Back in the days, I have been using the HTC HD2, the T-Mouse or T-Mobile US edition, which was really the best one because it had 1 GB of ROM, and you were able to put Linux, to put Android and to run it also with Windows Phone, guys, with Windows OS, etc., Windows Mobile back in the days. But then HTC exploded and they started producing phones, desire this, desire that, and cha-cha, with a QWERTY keyboard, without a QWERTY keyboard. So at some point, guys, I think you knew what happened. Xiaomi, when they started, they had the Mi Note Pro, which was, I think, their ever first and last phone until this day, with boosting 2K display. They never put a 2K display back, guys. And what happens right now with OnePlus, guys? So let's just take this article from Android Central, guys, and it's saying understanding the OnePlus phone lineup in 2019, where we have the OnePlus 7, the OnePlus 7 Pro, we have also the 7T, and we have the 7T Pro, guys, and not to mention the 5G phones, because we have also, guys, the 5G phones, right? So let's go further and see here there are a lot of different phones and they aren't available everywhere. So that's pretty much important to understand that the way now OnePlus is doing their business, besides just all the iteration with the phones, is that they're kind of splitting their launches based on regions. Let's take a look. So back in the days, the OnePlus guys, they had the simplest phone lineup of any company. It was pretty much, guys, like with the iPhone, you know that this year you're getting the iPhone, whatever, and then next year you're getting the iPhone whatever S, and then again the X, iPhone whatever plus one, iPhone whatever plus one S. So all the time, you get the new iteration, and it was pretty much a clear thing. And then at some point, Apple also kind of did try to play around with the cheaper phones, like putting the plastic phone, I think the 5C whatever, which was kind of a failure because iPhones, it's a status phone. You cannot go and just have a cheap phone. By now, then later they succeeded this with the HR, and now they're doing the same with the 11. But going back to OnePlus, so at some point they had every 6 months a new phone, and they of course then had to revise with the T series. Okay, T series, how does this sound? Now you can see here in the article, OnePlus also put the Pro inside the name of their phones. So you have to worry now and you have to wonder, should I buy the OnePlus 7 or should I buy the OnePlus 7 Pro? And now it's getting even more weirder, because back in the days I'm doing this video on my OnePlus 7. The OnePlus 7 clearly didn't have the 90Hz display, the awful display. Right now, even the 90Hz display, you can get them in the 17T. So now the question is, should I go for the 17T or for the 17 Pro or the 17T Pro or the 17T or the 17 Pro and get the 5G version? So it's kind of complicated. Okay, they put the Pro moniker, making room underneath for a separate, less expensive line. So I was saying this back in the days, at some point, OnePlus decided to jump on the wagon where, okay, we have a phone, which is our main phone, like the Pro phone. And then we have a phone for poor people, right? This is how I'm saying. I'm using the phone for the poor people. OnePlus 7 is like the poorest version, of a OnePlus phone, like we have the iPhone 11, which I bought for my wife, And then other things, so OnePlus also subsequently split the releases between different regions globally. And this also started to keep all the models in the market longer than before. Then there are the 5G versions of the phones for certain carriers and the special McLaren editions, and etc, etc. But look just here, the OnePlus 7T Pro, guys. So this is the OnePlus 7T Pro, what I'm showing on the screen. And by the way, I pretty much like that they keep this design. I don't like the circular design back at the camera of the OnePlus 7T. So the latest and greatest OnePlus sells is the 7T Pro. But you cannot buy the 7T Pro anywhere, and you might have seen if you follow MQBHD, it's not gonna be in the States because the 7T Pro is mainly available in Europe, India, and Asia. All right, so you cannot get it. All right, so then same story with the 7, OnePlus 7T. I think you know the whole story there. It has some boost in terms of battery. So they changed the battery compared to the OnePlus 7 Pro. They put a bigger battery, 4085 mAh. They put the new processor, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 855 Plus, guys, which I told you is pretty much a revamped 855 with a kind of slightly overclocked GPU. Maybe it has some other things, but it's not really a huge upgrade, right? And I think the 7T Pro is considerably different and more capable phone than the OnePlus 7, which differences that are in many ways full generation improvement. I guys don't agree to that, because there is always the term, cost to value, right? And I can tell you right now, for me, still OnePlus 7, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 of storage is the king of the phones that cost around 370, 380 euro. You cannot buy a better phone for this amount of money, guys. So I was speaking with some friends around. If you really want to buy the best all-around phone for 350, 60 euro, it's the OnePlus 7. If you want to buy the best all-around phone for like 300 euro, then maybe it's the Mi 9. And then if you want to go and buy something for 200 euro, you have to buy the Mi 8. It's still a very capable phone. But just going back to OnePlus, so the 7T Pro, they say here, is considerably different and more capable phone than the OnePlus 7. I don't agree with that. Okay, because you have the 90 Hz screen, which is kind of crazy. Everybody likes this. You have the full screen experience. But guys, you have also the camera that is popping up. And my take on these cameras that are popping up, and also slide phones like the Mix 3, that's not a sustainable design for me. This is kind of an interim generation between somebody will invent something else, maybe like Samsung did, putting the hole punch, like the whole camera inside the screen. But for me, slide phones and pop-up cameras are really providing a interim, not sustainable design. This is not ready for the future. I don't think that this will last too much in the time, guys. So again, that's my opinion. Okay, let's speaking about the OnePlus 7. So you see, you have the McLaren edition, you have this and that edition, with some more RAM, with some more less RAM. But in the end of the day, you have the OnePlus 7, you have the OnePlus 7 Pro, then you have the OnePlus 7 5G, I think, or maybe not, but you have the OnePlus 7 Pro 5G. So we have the OnePlus 7, OnePlus 7 Pro, OnePlus 7 Pro 5G, OnePlus 7T, OnePlus 7T Pro, and OnePlus 7T Pro 5G. So how many phones do you have right now, 2019, from OnePlus? Count them, right? I personally bought my version from China because it was really cheap, and of course it was the red color, which you cannot buy from Europe. So the OnePlus is kind of complicating, the whole I would say logistics and also supply chain, so the way and the means by how those phones arrive to us, the end users, right? So back in the days, this year OnePlus are gonna do 2 phones. Whatever you buy is great. Right now you have to take into considerations a lot of things before you can do, I think, a wise choice. And that's why I'm saying, guys, the OnePlus 7 are Xiaomi-fying themselves, like pretty much Xiaomi did what HTC did back in the days. And I can tell you, this didn't really prove to be a perfect thing. And the business from Xiaomi and OnePlus might seem a little bit common, but I think it's altogether different, because Xiaomi has 400 products in their Mi ecosystem. So OnePlus, I think, BBQ and Vivo, etc., they also are going to enter, I think, this kind of segment with the TVs and etc. But Xiaomi are just counting on producing more and more cheap phones that they sell to the public right now. They don't really care about making high-end spec phones, and that is why they kind of ripped the Mi 9 of iOS, and this is how I got at the end with OnePlus 7 hooked up with OnePlus. But in the end of the day, guys, this is my opinion. So I do believe that OnePlus is really changing their business model around the way to kind of mimic what Xiaomi are doing. Maybe they think this will bring them more revenue, more money, but we have to see and wait for that. I can see already that the people are irritated. On one of the Facebook pages that I joined, which has almost like 40k people are naming the OnePlus 7T like the most useless phone or the most useless upgrade ever. So they're not digging this, guys. And if the people are not digging this, I think there has to be like a serious reason for that, right? But again, this is not really like a rant or like a hate speech to OnePlus. It's just an observation that they're changing, the logistics. They're changing the supply model, and they're going to make it hard for the users, to get their products. And you can see even the frustration from MKBHD, who was saying that, how is he going to be able to import the 7T Pro to the States if he's not, you cannot find it there, so you have to buy from China. For us in Bulgaria, that's not a problem because we're used to that. But launching products globally has some advantages. So guys, this was my commentary around OnePlus Xiaomifying themselves. Let me know what you think. So I hope that you're gonna like the video, and if this is so, then please like it, subscribe to my channel, and be back for more. I'm planning a nice video about the first ever commercially released Android phone versus the first ever iPhone, and I promise it's gonna be very interesting. Alright, so see you around, and take care guys, bye.